They say when you wake up from a coma, it feels like being born again. But no one tells you what it's like to wake up into someone else's ending. My name is Lena Carter, and 3 years ago, I died for about 7 minutes. But my doctor brought me back. I remember the sound of rain that night, the screech of tires, the blinding lights, then darkness, cold, silence. When I opened my eyes, just for a moment I saw him, a man in scrubs soaked to the bone. His eyes filled with something fierce. "Stay with me," he said. "You are not going anywhere tonight." That was the first time I heard Dr. Ethan Wells' voice, the man who would save my life and unknowingly take my heart. The machines beeped softly beside me. I couldn't move much, but he visited every morning even when his shifts were over. He'd check my chart, fix my blanket, and always say something kind before leaving. "Ethan, looks like you're getting stronger. You'll be out of here before you know it." "Lena, then you'll finally get rid of me." "Ethan, not a chance." We started talking about books, music, even the smell of rain. And somehow in that sterile, white hospital room, he made life feel human again. Every look, every small laugh, it became a world I never wanted to leave. One night, he came in after midnight. I was half asleep. He sat beside me, his hands trembling slightly. "Ethan, I almost lost you that night. You coded twice. I thought," he exhales, "I thought I'd lose a patient before I even had a chance to know her." "Lena, maybe you weren't meant to lose me." He looked at me then, long and hard, like the world had slowed just for that moment. But he didn't say anything. He just smiled, stood up, and whispered, "Get some rest, Lena." I didn't know it then, but that was the night I fell in love with him. Days turned into weeks. I learned to walk again. Every step, every smile, he was there. And when he wasn't, I waited for him like sunrise. One day, a nurse said, "You know, Dr. Wells never visits patients this often." I wanted to ask why, but maybe I was afraid of the answer. "Ethan, be discharged next week." Lena, heart sinking. "Oh, already?" "Ethan, you've healed. That's the goal, right?" Lena, hesitant. "Right." I wanted to say that leaving meant losing him, but how do you tell your doctor that your heart beats for him? So I smiled instead. He smiled back, and the silence between us said everything we couldn't. He handed me my file, our fingers brushing for just a second. "Ethan, take care, Lena. You've got a whole life waiting." "Lena, yeah, you too, Dr. Wells." He hesitated, like he wanted to say something. Narration. 2 years passed. Then one night, I collapsed. They said my heart stopped again. Another surgery, another coma. And when I finally opened my eyes, the world was quiet, too quiet. I blinked, my throat dry, the beeping of the monitor steady. A nurse gasped softly. "She's awake. Call Dr. Wells." My heart raced at the sound of his name. "Ethan, my Ethan." I waited breathless as footsteps hurried down the corridor. The door opened. He walked in, but he wasn't in scrubs. He was wearing a wedding suit. Behind him, a woman appeared in a white gown, holding a bouquet. Her hand rested gently on his arm. My heart, the one he saved, shattered. Ethan, stunned, stepping closer. "Lena, you're awake." Lena, voice trembling. "Your suit. Here, you're getting married." He nodded slowly, guilt flickering across his eyes. "Ethan, yes, today." The nurse excused herself quietly. For a moment, the world was just as the man who saved me and the life he chose without me. Lena whispering, "I guess." I woke up just in time to say goodbye. Ethan, softly, "Don't say that." Lena, "I should be happy for you." Ethan, "You should be resting." He said it like a doctor, and that hurt most. That he went back to being Dr. Wells instead of Ethan. From the window, I could see a small chapel across the hospital courtyard. Guests gathered outside, laughter floating through the glass like a cruel melody. I watched as a white car waited by the gate, the one that would carry him away. And for the first time since I met Ethan, I wished I had never opened my eyes. He stood at the edge of my bed, torn between duty and destiny. "Ethan, I didn't think you'd ever wake up, Lena. It's been 6 months." Lena, softly, 6 months. Ethan, "You were in a medically induced coma. We kept hoping. But then your organs began to recover. Your heart stabilized. I stayed with you every week. I needed to make sure." He stops, searching for words. "I needed to make sure you were okay." Narration. His voice cracked on that last word. And for a moment, I saw the man I remembered, not the groom, not the doctor, but the man who once sat by my bed and whispered, "Don't leave me." Narration. My mind spun between dreams and reality. He had waited. He had cared. But time had betrayed us both. While I slept through half a year of silence, his life had gone on, and I couldn't blame him. How long can a person love someone who might never wake up? Still, the pain was sharp, like reopening an old wound. Lena weakly. Is she good to you?
Ethan quiet.
She's kind. She helped me through the nights when I thought I'd lost you.
Narration.
That was the answer I needed and the one I never wanted. I remembered the way he looked at me, the way his fingers lingered near mine.
Maybe it had never been love, maybe it was compassion. Maybe I was just a chapter in his life, while he became the whole story in mine. He turned to leave. His bride was waiting at the door, hesitant, watching. I gathered what little strength I had and spoke.
Lena.
Ethan. He stopped.
Lena tearfully. You once told me not to give up, that I had something worth living for. I thought you meant you. He closed his eyes, his jaw tightening.
Ethan. I shouldn't have. I didn't mean to give you false hope. Lena. You didn't. You gave me life, and I just wish I'd woken up sooner.
A tear slipped down my cheek. He stepped closer, his hand trembling as he reached for mine.
Ethan. Lena. He swallows hard.
If things were different.
Lena. They're not. And that was it. The truth laid bare between two people who had met in the space between life and death, but could never exist in the same lifetime.
His bride Clara finally stepped forward. Her voice was gentle, almost breaking.
Clara. I'm sorry. I know who you are, Lena. Ethan told me everything. He never stopped caring for you.
Lena smiling faintly. Then you're lucky. He's the kind of man who gives his heart even when it's already taken. She nodded, tears glistening in her eyes.
And for a moment,
I didn't hate her.
Because how could I? She was living the life I had only dreamed of, the life I lost to time. The sounds of music drifted in from outside. Ethan looked at me one last time, as if memorizing my face. Ethan. You'll be okay. I'll check on you later.
Lena. You don't have to.
Ethan softly. I want to. He left then. The door clicked shut and silence filled the room once more.
I turned my head toward the window, the sun casting golden light on the chapel. For a moment, I imagined what it would have been like if that had been me. But in this life, I was meant to be the miracle that woke up too late.
The nurses thought I was asleep, but I couldn't close my eyes. Every time I did, I saw him walking away, hand in hand with her. I whispered to myself, maybe some people are meant to save you, not stay with you. The words echoed in the sterile quiet, and somehow they brought peace. I was recovering faster than expected. Each day, I walked a little more. Each night, I stared at the ceiling, replaying his voice.
Then, one morning, a nurse handed me a small envelope. No name on it, just my room number, written in careful handwriting. Inside was a letter. Lena. There are moments in a doctor's life when you cross a line without realizing it.
The night you almost died, I swore I'd keep you alive, but I never expected you'd change me too.
You taught me patience, hope, the kind of strength that doesn't come from medicine, but from faith in something unseen. I can't undo what time did to us, but I want you to know there was a version of this world where I waited longer, where you woke up in time. And in that world, I think I loved you.
Ethan. I folded the letter and held it against my chest. Tears fell freely, not from pain, but from something softer. Closure maybe. Sometimes love doesn't need to be lived to be real. Sometimes it just needs to be remembered.
I watched the sunlight creep across the window pane. Outside, I could still hear faint laughter, faint music.
Life was moving forward, and maybe so was I. Her steps are slow but steady. The wind plays with her hair. She smiles fragile but free. I woke up on my doctor's wedding day, but maybe that was how it was meant to be. He gave me life twice.
Once with his hands, and once with his heart.
Some people save you so you can learn to let go, and I did.
Finally,